Hi everybody, all my followers, be welcome to another video. So the video today is on this, no, it's not a GT3 RS, it's not. It is a 2001 911 Carrera 2 Cup with the, I think this is the 3.4 liter engine with 315 brake horsepower. Now, I had to put the battery on charge because the battery was a little bit low. The car was parked here for couple of weeks now, I think. Yeah, about a couple of weeks now. The other car has been parked here. I had to put it on charge, and the main reason for me to have to put it on charge is because the battery was low, and I'm not sure yet if we have a battery drain issue or if there is something else. And the reason why I'm saying this, and that's why I didn't ask for a battery yet on this thing, is because the owner reckons that what's happening with this is that the car doesn't start. It looks like what I was told is that when you turn the ignition on, there is a click coming from somewhere and the car doesn't start, and you keep trying and eventually the car cranks. So it's not like the car is cranking but not starting, is that the car doesn't even crank. So that's the problem, and I don't know yet if that's something to do with the battery, or so we'll have to try to understand first what the problem might be, try to figure out what's wrong, and then we will try to see if we can fix it. So at the moment the battery is on charge for about 5 minutes now, maybe. So that's where we are, that's what it is. So let's gonna carry on, and we're gonna get into the car. I'm gonna probably get the maxi-sys, see if we can look at any live data for the ignition switch as we try to crank the car, to see if there's any live data that's gonna help us out, and I think that's a good plan, while the battery charged a little bit more. So let's gonna do that and proceed from there. But before that, let's just confirm the issue with the car. Oh, okay, so let's gonna turn ignition on. Let's try to crank. Yeah, nothing happened. I can hear the fuel pump. Oh, now he did something. The battery is low. Is the battery low, or is try? No, now he hasn't done anything. Okay, so he was trying to do something. Now he doesn't do anything. Okay, that's weird, because that was something different. Was that try to start, or? Now he's doing anything. He did that time where it was actually looks like was tried to start, but now he's not. Okay, the guy mentioned something that can be a little bit suspicious, which is the fact that he said he had the car off-road for about 4 or 5 months. Could we have a bad ground, bad contact somewhere? Right, the battery is charging. See if it's charging. Yeah, it is charging. It's not pulling a lot of amps, to be fair with you. 10 amps, so it's not too discharged. Otherwise, on fast charging, if the battery was really low, that would be pulling way more amps. It might worth to disconnect the battery and try to see or clean the contacts, and maybe do something on here as well on the chassis, just to make sure. Yeah, let's gonna do that to start with. Okay, so this is not too bad here, although look at that, a little bit not too clean. The battery poles are definitely not the cleanest one. They are quite bad, so including the inside of that. So we are going to give it a good clean and put it all back together and see what happens. Okay, and the battery terminals have been cleaned, everything is back together. I've also checked the voltage that goes there on the chassis behind that little cup in there, and if you can see, there you go, so it comes all the way up to the battery. Took that cover off, checked, but that connection is actually very clean. So let's see if the car does anything different. Don't know if it's going to do anything different or not, but we can always try. Oh. So, key on. No, same thing. But I actually heard. I haven't heard nothing now. I heard a kind of a click, sort of. Okay. What we're gonna do with this? Right, let's gonna get the maxi-sys and see what's going on. Okay, and a quick scan, we get P1571 immobilizer. Will the car stop cranking if the immobilizer is active? I'm not sure on this car, so let's gonna do one thing here quickly. Let's erase the codes. This could be an old code. Okay, so no fault codes detected. Let's come out of the engine ECU. It's gonna turn the thing off. Okay, it's gonna turn it back on. See for what happens. Oh, it's cranking now, and it started. Okay, it's running. Okay, let's turn it off. Let's try to start it again. Start it. Turn it off. Starting every single time now. Let me try the other key just in case. So, what to think about this? Oh man, let me see if any codes came back, but it started every single time. Okay. Oh, damn it. Could it be the battery? The resistance on the poles that were pulling the voltage down when you tried to crank? But the car was not, well, at some point it gave a little bit of a signal, so that was right to start. Right, let me go a little bit through live data here, see if I see anything that maybe we can try to look at if the problem happens again. Just curiosity. Not active. Ah, I lose straight away the thingy. Okay, that's not very good, isn't it? Why I can't communicate now? Well, maybe because that session. Maybe it was a session, don't know. Okay, so I don't know. Let me go a little bit through, see if I see anything that we can look at when it happens again. If it happens again, I'm going to try the car, and I guess I'll get back to you. So far, I've been trying the car a few times, and it's been starting fine, absolutely every single time. However, when I've scanned the alarm module, I saw something a little bit concerning. Maybe not concerning, but I saw glare. I'm gonna take this glare away. Maybe like that. Okay, so I saw there's a lot of faults on the alarm module, as you can see. A lot of this stuff could be the battery low that was making Lock door, lock barrel, open actuator, longer than 60 seconds. It could have been messing around, but the one is this 21W lead DME immobilizer. So I'm thinking that the car, so is the immobilizer deactivated through the alarm module? It looks like it is. So so what I've done is, just to check, I remove the driver's seat to get to the alarm module, which is this M534. This is the alarm module, and I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna check, maybe disconnect. It's a little bit dirty. This car used to be silver, by the way. Has been painted, and the interior is also been sort of painted. Not very good job, to be fair with you. Look what they did on these buttons. Look, they painted the buttons as well. Look, what a crap job. Anyway, that's enough for the video. Let's get to this module, see how the plugs are, if everything, if it looks clean, whatever. Okay, so as you can see, I go a little bit deeper. So the first thing I've done obviously was disconnect everything. Plugs, they look pretty clean, there's no corrosion. The inside of the ECU, the alarm module, it looks quite good. So this, from my understanding, this is what controls central locking, windows, alarm, and is what sends the signal to the DME to allow the car to start. The immobilizer, so the key communicates straight to this module here. So when you unlock the remote, the signal comes to here, and when you put the key in the ignition, turn ignition on, the signal, the data comes to this module. This module is what interprets the data, sees if the key is correct, and sends a signal to the ECU, to the DME, to allow the car to start. Now, after checking diagrams, the particular wire we are talking about is an orange and white wire in this particular module. And it's pin number 23 here, and it's pin number 3 on the DME, which I don't even know exactly where it lives, but I just want to see where that signal goes into the DME. So that's going to be pin number 23, which is, so it goes like this on the ECU. Okay, pin number 23 is the second pin here, so this is pin 22, that's going to be pin 23, and it is indeed an orange. Is this orange here? I don't know if you can see, probably not. Is this orange and white? So if it's that pin, it's going to be the second pin here at the top. So let me see where this pin is going. Okay, it's not really in there. Hold on. Okay, so now I want to try to understand what kind of signal is from that wire. Is just that some sort of voltage or ground? I don't think will be. We're talking about immobilizer. Obviously, when I try to measure with the multimeter, I only get like battery voltage or whatever voltage the car is running at. But we want to see that because obviously the multimeter is not going to show me a full picture. I actually can show you that. Let me show you quickly what the multimeter does. Okay, so if I plug in, and this is sometimes is important, this is one of the situations where you can only see what's going on with a scope. So if I probe this here, so I'm probing ground and voltage to the module, as you can see. That's not very good contact in there, I think. Oh, I'm doing this wrong, am I? What am I doing here? I'm doing something wrong. Yeah, that's it. What I was doing. Come on. Get into there. There we go. So if I measure voltage here, the module, as you can see, I have the 14 volts. And now if I measure the voltage, so ground in there, now if I measure that pin 23, like so, there we go. I get a little bit lower than the alternator, but as you can see, I get a constant 12 volts. But that's what the multimeter can measure. Now if I do connect this, from ground, not from ground, to the scope. So I'm going to use this lead here, the ground lead, so the black lead comes to there, and now I'm going to scope. Let me put this here now so you can actually see what's going on a little bit better. See if I can do this with no glare or less glare. If I scope that pin 23 now, there we go, can you see that? So there is some sort of data, pulsing data being sent to the DME from time to time. Okay, now I'm going to turn the engine off. So there we go, so there is data still being sent, as you can see. Now I'm going to try to put a key that I removed the immobilizer, and have you seen the initial data that I sent? Now the car doesn't crank, it does exactly what it was doing before, with the difference that I can hear the relay, a relay underneath the dash, which I was not listening before. Now I'm going to try the other key again, the good key. And engine is running. So obviously, guys, this is just a data wiring, data wire. That wire, this 23 connects to one of the pins of this relay. So I'm just not 100% sure if the data is being sent through the relay. So is the module closing the relay to then send the data? I'm not 100% sure. But the truth is, the car is just starting every single time now. So the only thing I could think of was this relay. Maybe try to take it out, see exactly how it's connected to there, and try to understand that bit, but I'm not 100% sure, because the car is starting now, so it's not really a lot to look at. I still think the connections on the battery, they were really bad, and maybe that was the issue. And by cleaning everything, maybe we fix the problem. Am I going to do something with this relay just to make sure? Just to make sure. Before we actually do that, because it's been starting absolutely fine now, I wanted to check something. So I went to where the ECU lives, which is underneath here. So you need to put the back seats, rest the backs down, then the ECU lives underneath there. And when I got here, I don't know, it might doesn't mean anything, but it might mean something. So let's kind of take this off and give it a little bit of some inspection here. Okay, so let's kind of hope that this doesn't mean anything. Let's hope. So here we have the, I believe this is going to be the gearbox and engine ECU, this top one being the gearbox. So we're going to unplug all of this and see if there's anything that raises any concerns. So the ECU is pretty clean. I just looked around, I can't really see anything that raises any concerns. This here on the edge is no moisture, is that sort of, it looks like, you see this sort of resin that stays dry after the soldering. That's why it looks like to me. It doesn't look like moisture. The ECU looks pretty clean, no concerns at all. The back of the ECU, this sort of back plate, works as a heat sink. So the ECU is actually, I don't know if you can see there, you see the grey stuff behind, so the ECU is actually glued. So if I had any concerns, I would split this, but because I don't have any concerns, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it for now. One thing I must say though, some of these plugs, I think was this one? I'm not sure if it was this one or the black one. I think it was the black one, to be fair. He had a little bit, when I put my finger through there, my finger got kind of wet. It was very small droplets of water here, perhaps just moisture building up. The pins themselves, they look pretty clean. I don't have any concerns there. but it looks like moisture was start to build somehow. Well, you've seen the water there, so but I don't know if this is water coming in or if it's just condensation. This is a little bit wet here. Yeah, this is wet, definitely. It's not wet, but it's damp, if that makes sense. That side is not so much. I don't know. It's here is a little bit as well, definitely. So I'm not really sure. Is the car? This here is now getting dried up, but it was all wet around here as well. So could it be moisture getting in somehow? The gearbox ECU plug looks pretty clean. This is gonna be the gearbox. I'm pretty sure it is. All the pins, they look pretty clean. No concerns here either. So I don't know. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to measure the wire, that W lead. We're going to look for pin number 3 on one of these plugs. I'm not sure which one is, but we'll figure it out that quickly. Just make sure we have a good continuity. And yeah, but as you've seen, the car is starting fine every single time now. And I will show you later as well. But I'm just curious why that signal wire is connected straight to one of the pins of that tiny relay. That's the bit that is a little bit, why is a signal wire connected to a relay? Is the relay closing and then sending the signal to the DME? And if that relay, when it closes, if it doesn't close properly, the signal is disrupted or something like that. It's a little bit weird that it worked that way, but I don't know. In 2001, I don't know what Porsche was doing. So anyway, let's go and investigate a little bit more and go from there. But for now, let's just measure the wire, make sure we have a good continuity on that W lead. And here we have it, 0.3 ohms from that pin, number 23, all the way to this pin here, orange and white wire, pin number 3, bang on, 0.4 ohms, which is perfect. I already have been here wiggling this and wiggling it down here, and it's absolutely fine. Everything is fine, so no concerns with this wire either. And it's time to start to put things back on, at least at this end of the car. So I'm going to use a little bit of contact cleaner to spray on this and on these plugs, just to make sure we not just to make sure, just give it, while we are here, we put a little bit of that, clean this contact, put it all back together, and then I'm going to dig a little bit into that relay. I want to understand a little bit better exactly how is that signal being sent to the engine ECU, to see if there's any chance that that relay could be the culprit. So let's go and have a look at it, and yeah, but for now, let's put this all back together. So the relay has been removed. As you can see, is here. This particular model is, this model I'm going to be able to see there is a Siemens V23026-A1001-B201. I got hold of the data sheet for this particular relay, and according to the data sheet and based on the numbers, looks like this is a monostable version, so it's just a quite simple relay. There's other versions with reset conditions and with B stable and B stable with 2 coils, but this particular model looks like it's that one in there. So just quick show you that the relay has, so pin 23 has a straight connection to this pin number here, as you can see in there, 0.4 ohms. So you have 1, 2, 3 pins, 4, 5, 6 pins. The relay has this little line on one of the ends. There's a straight line right there at the top, and I made a line in there to know the orientation, so the relay goes like that. And according to the diagrams, that particular pin, which is this bottom left hand side pin, is my common contact. Then on a normally closed is connected from this to here. Obviously that doesn't really matter, but I'll show you like so. So normally closed is from this pin here to the first pin on the same side, and then when the relay is activated, it connects from here to this corner here. Okay. The only thing I want to establish now, and I'm going to do that when I connect this back on, the relay is working absolutely fine both ways. So I had a quite complicated apparatus here where I've connected wires to these pins, to the multimeter, and then I was using my 5 volts power, my power supply regulated to 5 volts to activate the relay. The relay works absolutely fine and is closing contact absolutely fine both ways, on both, either normally close on or when you close the relay is making proper contact. So I don't think the relay is the issue, at least it doesn't look like. The only thing is a little bit weird that this signal is sent to the PCM through a relay. I think it's going to be more this common is the connection between, obviously somewhere here in this U, is that signal goes through this pin straight into pin 23 and then is used for something else. That's how I think this is. Maybe I'm wrong, but we're gonna have a quick look and establish that when we connected this to the car, because I know how we're gonna do it. And yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so it looks like, might be wrong, but if I put my, if I connect the scope to the normally open, so which is the one, that's the one in there. So I get like, obviously this is not real 12 volts, but what you're gonna see is that when I turn the ignition on, come on, I'm gonna turn the ignition on. We have that signal, then the relay goes off. Okay, but if I go to the normally closed, there we go. We have that signal that I've showed you earlier. There we go. You see there? There he is. So, and what I want to show you as well is, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, probably not. But maybe if I put the camera in a different position, maybe you'll be able to hear it. Let's see if I can do it like so. Let me see if you can hear it. If I turn the ignition with the key that doesn't have the transponder, look what happens. So the relay stays on for about 2 seconds. If I do with the key that has the transponder, literally the relay just goes on and off. That's it. So yeah, so the normally closed is that pin in there, and then that one is the normally, then that one is the normally open. So so it looks like the relay closes. I'm not sure if it's to gather the signal from this pin and send it to the ECU and then turns off. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. But the relay seemed to work okay. But if the car carry on doing what it was doing, that's going to be my point of contact, is replace the relay. Although, as I said, I've tried a fair amount of times, and the relay fully closes every single time. I haven't seen a problem with this relay at all. So I don't know. Let me see if the car starts now. Everything's connected. Yes, it is. Yeah. The battery is low now. Damn it. Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to put the battery on charge again. But yeah, looks like it is okay to. And now it doesn't do it. I think it's because the battery is low. Yeah, that's because of that. 100%. Okay, let me put the battery on charge. And these guys, I'm publishing the video because some of you guys asked me to do it, regardless of the outcome. And yeah, this is a primary example where I did not follow my own rules, and I got beaten in the ass big time on this, because I keep saying on the videos about it, I keep mentioned it, I keep try to highlight the importance of it, and in this case I kind of thought, nah, it should be alright, and I went down the rabbit hole. So the car is fixed, guys. It's starting every single time, no problems at all. The car was here parked now since Saturday, was right there by the Seat since Saturday. Today is Tuesday. I haven't started since Saturday. Got there just about half an hour ago, maybe a little bit more. Started the car straight away, and then I moved it to here. Been here, started and stopping the car a few times. Absolutely fine, no problems at all. I see no concerns on the starting of the car. So everything we've done up to now, guys, was a waste of time. I admit that, and that could have been and I could have fixed this car pretty much if I would have done what I've done now at the end. And let me just show you guys how the car starts absolutely fine. It's running at the moment. Don't know if you can hear it, but it is running. And let me just show you. If I stop the car now, start the car, absolutely perfect, starts every single time. And all I've done was I got to the point where I don't know, guys, don't ask. Sometimes it's one of those things that you don't even know why you do it. But I've asked the guy, I said, look, I want a new battery for this car. I'm not going to work on this car anymore without a good battery. That's it. As soon as I put a good battery, car was fixed. So it was purely because the battery was getting so low as I was there, tried to on and off, etc, etc, and the battery was so not holding charge that even with my power supply connected, that when I was trying to crank or turn the ignition on, the voltage would drop that low that the module under the seat would just go nuts and would not release the immobilizer. And that's all it was happening. Obviously, I don't know if it was the module, if it was some other module that, as the battery was getting that low, would stop communications and or whatever that was happening. It doesn't really matter for now. All it matters is that it was the battery, guys. And you guys know how I highlight, how I stress the importance of the batteries. They can cause all sorts of issues. A primary example here, I should have follow and stick to my rules, and I didn't. I thought I'll charge the battery, blah blah blah, but then I started to realize the battery was actually not holding any charge at all. So I've asked for a new battery, installed it. Since Saturday the car is starting absolutely fine. And that's it for the fake Porsche GT3 RS. In the end, as I said to you, it was just a bad battery, and the car is fixed. So yeah, I was not to publish these, but some of you guys just said publish anyway. So here it is, a bad battery that caused a intermittent non-start. So with no further ado, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you learned something. I definitely learned that I need to stick to my rules. If you do still have any questions or any comments, you guys know exactly how it works, just put them below. And like always, thanks for watching.